Hey guys, for today's video, I am going to attempt to do my first light up marquee installation. If you're here, it means you're a Arcade1Up degenerate too, which is the only reason why we do these unnecessary modifications, just because it makes us feel better, I guess. So I've never done one of these installations before, so I figure I'd try to do a video while I'm doing it. And since I'm cracking open the machine anyways, I figure I will install the LED light strip so that I can have a light up control deck like I've got on my Pac-Man, Golden Tee, and Burger Time. I got this machine from Ollie's when they had the sale going on last month for $129. And my new marquee showed up today, so I figure let's do everything while we're here. The items I'm going to use today for the LED light strip installation: clear packing tape to help tape the LED strip to the back of the bezel, my roll of RGB LED lights, my connector, which will actually connect the light strip itself to this end here, which I then have a male 4-pin connector, which will then go to connect to the LED controller itself, which then has a normal power outlet, which will then be plugged into this YSplitter cable. A pair of scissors for cutting the LED light strip, my handy dandy screwdriver for cracking open the machine, and then I got my package today from Arcade Game Factory with my new marquee, which included another cable splitter, this wiring harness, which I'm assuming is to wire it directly into your on-off switch. I won't be doing that with this particular piece, so I don't really need these. The actual LED strip with power cable, which will then plug into the splitter, which then I'll probably use that splitter to plug into it as well, and then it'll feed the LED light strip, the marquee, and the game, and then obviously the new marquee. This came from arcadegamefactory.com. To my knowledge, he hand builds these as per order. He doesn't have these sitting around in his warehouse. So when you get an order in, he builds these by hand. So I'm excited to get this puppy installed, so let's get going. So I just looked over the machine to see what I probably would need to do, and I'm going to take off my 4 screws from my control deck and remove the control deck. Remove the top 2 screws up on top here that have the faux marquee up, and then take off the back control panel, and then hopefully with these 2 screws off, it should be loose enough that I should be able to pop out this panel here, but we'll see. So while taking off these top screws, I then realized I also should take off these other side of top screws. By doing so, it allowed me to lift the 2 sides, pop this top panel off here. Now I'm going to undo these 2 screws that are attached to the top of the LCD screen that attach to the very bottom of the old marquee. By undoing these screws, it should allow me to be able to pull this old marquee out and then slide the new one in for replacement. Alright, so I've got the marquee here, and I'm going to actually install it. Now, in my package from Arcade Game Factory were 2 short screws that I'm going to screw in to the bottom of the marquee itself. Going very well. Now I'm going to install the light bar. Make sure the lights are actually facing out and not in, because that would defeat the purpose then. Attach my YSplitter cable, put that inside the machine, and then slide back in my H panel. So because the Marquee does not have a pre-drilled hole in the side, I'm going to assume we're not going to be putting this screw back in. But we are putting this one back in so that it tightens up the top. Make sure that you have your dowels inside the holes and that your H panel here is within its slots as well. So I'm going to put this screw back in just to tighten the machine up on the top here. Now, we have our YSplitter cable. Going to attach the AC power cable, run that into the bottom of the splitter, put the splitter into the PCB board. So here it is, the finished product with our brand new lit Marquee. I do like the color of it because the black is actually black compared to the Legacy Mortal Kombat where it's completely washed out black. So I think I'm actually going to go with these guys again to get a new Marquee for the Mortal Kombat 2 machine. But this is what the finished product looks like with the new brand new lit Marquee. Now in the process I also did add a new LED strip for a light-up control deck, which when it's turned on, it looks like this. So this is what it is with the blue color on currently. And then what I do is I put a piece of trim over the top of this here so that the lights aren't blinding you when you're playing. So like if you notice here on my Golden Tee, this black piece of trim here keeps the lights from blinding you, but if you look back and underneath, you can still see them. Same thing with the Pac-Man and with the Burger Time. So overall, I'm quite impressed with the quality of the build. The only thing is these two screws at the top here are now gone because there's nothing to screw into. But overall, like I said, it's securely in there from the two screws that I put underneath that attach to the top of the PCB monitor. So if you have any questions, like I said, feel free to reach out. I'm not an expert. I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm just another idiot spending unnecessary money on these machines, just like you are if you're watching this video. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and good luck.